Hello and welcome to the channel of Hashaliach once again, and I hope you're all doing well. I'm going to be looking at a character from Judges chapter 6, the character of Gideon. He is called as one of the deliverers of Israel. Now, in this situation, Israel's been handed over to Midian, and Midian treat them harshly for 7 whole years. It is a real struggle, and the people of God are starting to cry out and saying, we need to be delivered from this oppression and harshness. But I'm going to start in verse 11 in Judges chapter 6. Then the angel of Adonai came and sat under the pistachio tree in Ophrah that belonged to Joash the Abiezri. His son Gideon was threshing wheat in the winepress in order to hide it from Midian. So this is where Gideon first meets God. He's threshing wheat in the winepress in order to hide it from God, because food is obviously scarce and he wants to ensure that he can survive. Now, Gideon is just a normal man like all other men. He's no different, but God appears to him and puts a call on his life. Now let's just look at some of the humanness of Gideon that shows just how human he really was. Verse 12. The angel of Adonai appeared to him and said to him, "You valiant hero, Adonai is with you." What an address! What an address! You valiant hero, Adonai is with you. "Excuse me, sir," answered Gideon, "but if Adonai is with us, then why is all this happening to us? And where are all his miracles our ancestors told us about when they said, 'Didn't Adonai bring us up from Egypt?' For now Adonai has abandoned us and handed us over to Midian." Very true. Very true. They have been handed across. Verse 14. Adonai turned to him and said, "Go in this strength of yours and save Israel from the hands of Midian. Haven't I sent you?" But Gideon answered him, "Forgive me, my lord, but with what am I to save Israel? Why, my family is the poorest in Manasseh, and I'm the youngest person in my father's house." Excuse after excuse. Verse 16. Adonai said to him, "Because I will be with you. You will strike down Midian as easily if there were just one man." Gideon replied, "If indeed you favour me, would you mind giving me a sign that it is really you talking with me?" Excuse me. Now just quickly look at this. God visits him and starts speaking to him. He says, "You valiant hero, Adonai is with you." Then he says, "Go in this strength of yours and save Israel from the hands of Midian. Haven't I sent you?" Then he says, Adonai said to him, "Because I will be with you." 3 times great encouragement, confirmation that God's with him. And yet the first thing he does, he asks for a sign. So off he goes, he gets a goat and he makes this broth. He brings it back, and then God brings fire up to cook and devour the food right in front of Gideon's eyes. And then he disappears, and Gideon realizes, "Oh, I really have seen God. Oh no, I'm going to die." And then he's given comfort. He says, "No, you're not going to die. You're going to be fine." Then God gives him this mission to tear down an altar to Baal, which is in his father's house. Now, he knows that God has called him, and he's been given this great sign that God did. And God says to him, says, "Right, now go up and take out this altar to Baal." But we are told in verse 27, Gideon took 10 of his servants and did what Adonai had told him to do. He didn't do it by day because he was afraid of the men in his father's household and those from the city, so he did it at night. This man has talked with God, the living God. This man has seen a sign from God, and yet he's still fearful of man. And so he goes and carries out this mission at night. And the people get angry and they want to kill him, but God delivers him using his father, Joash. So he gets delivered by God. And then, as things go on, Gideon again has a conversation with God, and he says, look, if you're really going to deliver Israel using me, then I want another sign. And it's the sign of the fleece. He says, I will lay a wool fleece on the threshing floor if there is dew on the fleece only, while all the ground stays dry. I will be convinced that you will save Israel through me, as you said you would. God did the miracle. But look what it says, I will be convinced. If you do this miracle, I will be convinced that indeed you're going to deliver Israel through me. God does a miracle. What happens? Gideon is not convinced. And so he asks for another sign, this time the reverse of what he has asked for. And God comes through for him. What we see with Gideon is a very real human being, just like you and I. God has even visited this man. He saw God. He spoke with God. He saw multiple signs. He was delivered by God from the people who wanted to kill him. And yet he still doubted. He still doubted. The first thing the angel of Adonai says to him, you valiant hero, Adonai is with you. And Gideon replies this, excuse me, sir, answered Gideon, but if Adonai is with us, then why is all this happening to us? And where are all his miracles our ancestors told us about when they said, didn't Adonai bring us up from Egypt? You see, God is still speaking, friends. He's still speaking. You valiant hero, God is with you. You valiant hero, God's with you. But God, if you're with me, why is all this happening? Why is all this madness going on in the world? People being slaughtered left, right, and centre by their own governments. Wars all over the place. Financial difficulties. The world is going to hell in a handbasket. Why is all this happening? You call me a valiant hero and you're with me? What's going on? What's going on, God? Because when things get really, really bad, when we're in the bottom of the pit and it looks like there is no hope, God comes along and he's looking for valiant heroes like you, like me. He's looking for somebody to stand up. He's looking for valiant heroes, men and women, just like you and me. And he repeatedly says it, I'm with you because I will be with you. I'm going to take you through this. That is why you're going to be a valiant hero. What I need from you is to say, yes, here am I. Send me. God's looking for valiant heroes, friends. Are you one of those valiant heroes? God bless you.